to Vanderbilt women's basketball head coach Shea Ralph. Coach, final week of the regular season here. Another split week. You guys host Alabama, and you guys go over east to play the team in Orange out east. So, how are you guys preparing for this week?
It's crazy that this is the last week of the regular season, isn't it? I can't believe it's the end of February. But I really love where we're at. I think the kids today, we had a great practice. We had a day off yesterday. We're home again, which is awesome. Our last regular season home game, so we're looking forward to seeing Commodore Nation. But the preparation remains the same. Remaining steadfast with how we prepare, things we're focusing on, making sure that we get a lot of great work in, but that we're efficient with it so that they can rest and recover as well.
You guys are coming off a big win over Kentucky. I know every SEC game is difficult, but how tough is it to beat the same team twice?
Yeah, I mean, that's those are the hard ones, right? You continue to play people over and over. And I had a lot of experience at UConn when I was an assistant and a player. We tend to face people 3 and 4 times a year. Because, you can face them in the conference a couple of times. You'll see them in the tournament, and then you probably see them in the NCAA tournament. But the more that we get an opportunity to meet good teams more than once, the better I like it, because it's going to prepare us. We are going to see SEC teams again. We're going to see them in the SEC tournament, teams we've already played, and we're going to see them in the NCAA tournament. So I love the fact that we were able to do it. And those were tight games as well. So the execution was really great down the stretch for both.
Seeing the way they were able to pull out 2 tight wins against Kentucky, a team that they had seen before, how does that kind of shape your focus towards the SEC tournament? And I'm sure you're going to see maybe them again or others as well.
I think it's really important to make sure that our kids are comfortable, right? So we can't change everything we do for every team we play. We've got to make sure that we stay focused on how we do what we do and that we do it really well. So we may make some adjustments here and there, but that's why it's important that we work on it in the day. So, in the game stuff, or how we're going to defend certain things in our man-off defense, or how we're going to defend it in our zone, how we're going to exploit certain things in our offense. All of that stuff remains the same. It just depends on who we play and what their calling card is. So as we continue to do those things and execute them and we are successful, that we just build confidence, which is what is really great about going to the SEC tournament and having worked some of those games.
What's the status for Sasha Washington?
Day-to-day, she did practice today, though, so that was good.
Caleb Brock played really well the other night against Kentucky, 9 rebounds for her, best plus-minus of the team. I mean, how much have you seen her confidence grow, and just how comfortable did she look the other night?
I don't think I've ever seen her not be confident. That's what I love about her. She reminds me, she's a little stubborn in a good way. She reminds me of myself as a player. She wants to get out there and just a ball in a time shot. She's going to do whatever she can to help the team win. She's going to dive on loose balls. She's 5'10".
Yeah.
She might get mad at me if that's not right. Might be a little bigger, 5'11". And gets 9 rebounds just because she has a nose for the ball and she's going to dive into 3 people, right? So that kind of toughness you just really need. I love that she's playing this well at this point in the season. Only goes well for our team and for her moving forward.
So to follow up on that, she was in on the final possession offensively and defensively. What did you like about her being by the floor at that time?
I think the biggest thing is that I have confidence in her, and so does her too. So to that point, she had made a huge difference on the team. And I felt like we were a better team with her on the floor, and I know that they did as well. So that's when you just go with what you know and what we say came up.
Talk about this time of the season. Are you guys playing your best right now?
Not yet, but we're getting close. Not yet. I'm really happy about the wins that we're having, the growth that we have. And then I'll sit and watch film for a couple hours of the game and be like, oh my God, we're so much better than we played. And that's a good thing, right? So we still have a ways to go, but we're continuing to improve, and that's been the goal of the season.
What are some of the things that you've seen from their team from the beginning of the season till now that you're really happy that, confidence-wise, improvement-wise, what are some of those key things that you've really seen them pick up on as time goes on?
I think the biggest ones have nothing to do with the actual game of basketball. I love their toughness. I love their resiliency. When I was watching back the game of Kentucky, the tightness of their huddles, the way they were communicating on the court, the way they were communicating with me, the way our bench looked. That is what a championship team looks like. Those are the things that at this point in the season you really can't. The other stuff we can work with, right? And we're getting better at those things. But the thing that I love to see about my team right now is all the things that I know I can coach, and they have them.
It's been a while, so it's the final regular season game this week. There were a handful of years where the final regular season game to go and met the final home game of the season. But it is not the case now because you guys will be hosting. Can you just kind of speak to how that you want that to be commonplace and this is how it operates now at Vanderbilt and that kind of thing?
Yes, one of the goals this year was for us to be in position to host. And I don't have a lot of goals. You know, you guys know me, goals and stuff. I just try to stick to the day-to-day process, but we really wanted to take that step this year. So we factored our schedule that way. We talked a lot about these are the things that we really want to do. So you see that come to life and know that we're going to have that opportunity is really shows that the trajectory is going in the right direction. But it also is another check mark and like, hey, we're here. Right? We're here.
So between the end of the regular season and the pacing in the NCAA, you got the SEC. What's the mindset, the importance, what's your goal, what's at stake? Some teams need to win more than you guys did.
I think the goal was always to win, you know, and we have 2 more regular season games, so we haven't really talked about that, but I don't talk about any of that stuff with him. Because the goal remains the same for every game we play. So it doesn't matter if it's in November, December, late February, early March. So the goal is to go in with a championship mindset.
Is there any pressure on you in the SEC tournament at all? Or how do you play? You got to deal with the likes of physical attitude.
Not the same. No, not the same. Not the same. I don't have to worry about that. No pressure. The opportunity. No pressure. It's just opportunity.
Vanderbilt has only won one time in Knoxville ever. So what kind of opportunity is it to end your regular season by going there?
It's one that I really like. I love that we're ending there. You know, in Tennessee, such a storied program with such a great tradition, and they're a really good team. This conference is tough. So I know that, you know, all of us have been going through it at one point or another, and I'm sure they're going to be wanting to play their best basketball in early March, is just like us. Playing on the road there is really tough. But I'm looking forward to the environment and really looking forward to that game.
Your goal is to win, and I don't want to skip past Alabama or anything, but with that game at Tennessee, how do you kind of decide how important that is just as a rivalry and also make sure your players who weren't here last year understand?
I don't think I have to do that as much. Again, we have a player-led team, so I can tell that they talk about those things a lot. I can tell that they're on a lot of things about rivalries and competition, getting them fired up that I have to do, which I love as their coach. We'll throw a couple of things in there and, you know, make sure that they understand what's at stake, but that's for every single game. That's what I love about my staff, too. We do it for every single game and every opponent that we play.
Thursday night, Alabama, the next game up. What have you seen from them so far that maybe can present some challenges, or what do you really like about this matchup with the Crimson Tide?
Yeah, I mean, I know that they had some tough losses, but they played really well in those losses, and they were very close. They're a very good team. They can shoot the ball well. They can the ball really well. They're very well coached. Like I said before, I love their coaching staff, but I think that they have a system for us in terms of, like, when we take away their first and second option, they're just going to try to feed us off the dribble, and that's going to challenge us to continue to get better. Because that's something that we struggle with, you know, from time to time. So we got to do a good job of not letting them get paint touches, because when they do, they're going to kick it out to wide open 3-point shooters, and those are shots we can't give up.
It was something I saw Sunday. You know, you mentioned after the game in the first quarter, Kentucky got those driving kicks, but you all done well the rest of the game. What is it that's so tough about shutting that type of offense down from the jump?
I mean, I don't know. I think that there's, when offenses have such a good pizza, and, you know, you get fatigued or you don't communicate or you're not in the right position on defense, and they know how to take advantage of that. And, you know, that's what good offenses do. And I think that's what's so important about discipline, right? So it's like, was it really good offense, or were we just really undisciplined? And I think both can be true, right? I think if we do play disciplined defense, whether we're tired or not, whether it's the first quarter or the last possession, then we're really tough to play against. But those are the things that we can control. So we didn't do a good, and that, you can't tell me that you were tired in the first quarter, right? We were just undisciplined. You can't say that. So when we make sure that we close those gaps, and I'm glad that we did pretty early on, because had we not, it could have gotten ugly. But it has gotten ugly in the past for us, and that's how you can see that we're getting better. But we can't have it anymore. you know, we can't continue to dig ourselves holes. And those are things we talk a lot about at practice.
All right, Coach. Thank you. Oh.
Yeah, thank you. Always.